Hey everyone, welcome back to Coins Numismatic Series. If you love rare and valuable coins, you're in the right place. Today, we've got an exciting episode as we dive into the top 2 most interesting Lincoln penny coins. You won't believe the hidden value these pennies can hold, so stick around because you might just have one sitting in your collection. Let's jump right into it and explore the fascinating details of these amazing Lincoln pennies. 1981. Lincoln penny 1 cent without mint mark in fine condition. Let's kick things off with a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but has some intriguing aspects that make it stand out. The 1981 Lincoln penny without a mint mark. If you've ever come across one of these in your change, you might want to take a closer look. The 1981 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features the famous right-facing portrait of Lincoln, which has remained largely unchanged for over a century. The reverse at the time still carried the classic Lincoln Memorial design created by Frank Gasparro in 1959, replacing the original wheat ears design. Now, let's talk about the mint mark, or in this case, the lack of one. The 1981 Lincoln penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Before 1980, Philadelphia minted pennies had no mint mark, which was standard practice. However, in 1980, the U.S. Mint started adding the P mint mark to other denominations like nickels, dimes, and quarters, but not to pennies. That means if you have a 1981 penny without a mint mark, it's actually not an error. It's just how Philadelphia pennies were struck that year. But here's where things get interesting. The year 1981 was the last year the Lincoln penny was made entirely of 95% copper. That's right. By 1982, due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint transitioned to the copper-plated zinc composition we see in pennies today. This means 1981 is one of the last years where you can find a regular issue Lincoln cent made of solid copper, making it a favorite among collectors who love classic coin compositions. In terms of mintage, the Philadelphia Mint produced a massive 7.4 billion of these coins. That makes it quite common in circulated condition. However, if you have one in high-grade uncirculated condition, especially MS65 or higher, it becomes much more desirable to collectors. Now let's talk value. In circulated fine condition, a 1981 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is generally worth face value, 1 cent. However, if you find one in brilliant uncirculated condition, MS65 or higher, it can be worth anywhere from $5 to $25. Coins graded MS67 and above are significantly rarer and can fetch upwards of $100 or more at auction. And of course, errors make any coin far more valuable. Some notable 1981 Lincoln penny errors to look for include double die obverse. Some 1981 pennies display noticeable doubling in Lincoln's eye, nose, or inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust. A strong DDO in high grade can bring $200 or more. Off-center strikes. A 5 to 10% off-center strike may bring $10 to $30. While a 50% or more off-center coin with a visible date can go for over $100. Clipped planche. These occur when a blank isn't properly cut from the metal sheet, leaving a crescent-shaped missing section. Value depends on the severity of the clip and the coin's condition, but some sell for $50 plus. Struck on a foreign planche. Occasionally, a U.S. penny is mistakenly struck on a blank meant for another country's coin. These errors can be extremely valuable, sometimes reaching into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, is the 1981 Lincoln penny worth holding on to? Absolutely. While most in circulated condition won't make you rich, those in pristine condition or with rare errors can be worth much more. Plus, as one of the last all-copper pennies, it holds historical and collectible significance. All right, coin collectors. Now it's time to move on to our second fascinating Lincoln penny. The 1988 Lincoln penny with the D mint mark in fine condition. This is another coin that might seem common at first glance, but as always, there's more to the story. The 1988 Lincoln penny belongs to the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. This particular penny carries the classic design we've all come to recognize. The obverse, front, features the enduring portrait of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials VDB can be found just below Lincoln's shoulder, a nod to the original 1909 design. The inscriptions include "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1988 on the right, just below the D Mint mark, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. Flipping to the reverse, back, we find the Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Gasparro in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's legacy. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny engraving of Lincoln inside the memorial, sitting in his chair. A cool little detail many people don't notice. The inscriptions include "United States of America" across the top, "E Pluribus Unum" just below it, and "1 cent" at the bottom. Now let's talk about why the 1988 D penny is significant. By 1982, the U.S. Mint made a major change to Lincoln pennies, transitioning them from 95% copper to a new composition, 97.5% zinc with a thin copper coating. This switch was made due to the rising cost of copper, and by 1988, all Lincoln pennies were produced in this newer, lighter composition. The Denver Mint produced a whopping 5.25 billion of these pennies, making them very common in circulation. Since they were mass-produced, finding one in fine condition is easy, and most of them are only worth their face value of 1 cent. However, in high uncirculated grades, MS 65 and above, these pennies become far more valuable. A well-preserved 1988 D penny with a strong strike, minimal contact marks, and a bright original luster can sell for $5 to $30, while a rare MS 67 example can reach upwards of $200 or more at auction. Here's where things get really exciting. The 1988 Lincoln penny, both Philadelphia and Denver versions, is known for one of the most famous modern errors, the 1988 reverse of 1989 variety. So what does that mean? During the transition between 1988 and 1989, the U.S. Mint changed the lettering style on the reverse of the Lincoln penny. The main difference is in the FG initials of Frank Gasparro, located at the bottom right of the Lincoln Memorial. On some 1988 pennies, the Mint mistakenly used the 1989 reverse die, which has a distinct G in the FG initial. If you find a 1988 D penny with the reverse of 1989, congratulations. This variety is highly sought after by collectors. Even in circulated condition, it can be worth $10 to $50, while high-grade examples can sell for several $100s. Other 1988 D penny errors to watch for include double die obverse. Look for doubling in Lincoln's I, date, or inscriptions. A strong DDO can bring $50 to $150+ in high grades. Off-center strikes. A 5 to 10% off-center penny is worth $10 to $20, while a 50% or more off-center strike can exceed $100. Especially if the full date is visible. Clipped planchets. These errors occur when part of the coin is missing due to a miscut blank. Values vary, but they can sell for $30 to $100 plus, depending on severity and condition. Struck on a foreign planchet. Sometimes pennies are accidentally struck on blanks meant for other coins. These rare errors can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the type of planchet used. While the standard 1988 D penny in circulated condition is only worth face value, it still holds historical significance as part of the Lincoln Cent series. However, if you find one with the reverse of 1989 variety, a major error, or a high MS 67 plus grade, it could be worth a lot more. If you're a collector, it's always a good idea to keep an eye out for these varieties. Even though they're small details, they can make a huge difference in value. Wow, that was a deep dive into the 1988 D Lincoln penny. Who knew such a common coin could have so many hidden secrets? If you enjoyed this breakdown and learned something new today, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Coins Numismatic series, and turn on notifications so you never miss another exciting coin discovery. And let me know in the comments, do you have any 1988 D pennies in your collection? Have you checked for the reverse of 1989 variety? If not, it's time to start looking. That's all for today, but stay tuned for more rare and valuable coin finds coming your way soon. Until next time, happy collecting.